Hey friends, I'm glad to see you here. In this lecture, we will be studying about web forms. I have divided this lecture in two parts. One is of theory and other is of practical. In theory part, I will be giving you details or I will be giving you case studies. I will giving you about everything we will have in web forms, what attributes, what tags we use in forms and what are its descriptions, how it works and many more things. In the practical part, we will be doing the same that we have learned in the theory. We will be practically doing it on the screen. So what are web forms? Web forms is an extension to the forms features found in HTML4. Form elements and attributes in HTML5 provide a greater degree of semantic markup than HTML4 and remove a great deal of the need for tedious scripting and styling that was required in HTML4. When there was days of HTML4, we were required to write various JavaScript jQueries to enable form validations and many more things. But now in HTML5, there is no need of all those scripts, VB script, JavaScript, jQuery, and other languages to put in our code, and then we require the validation. So there is many more features we are getting in HTML5. So as I told you about HTML4 and HTML5, first I will show you the attributes and types we have in HTML4. As you can see, the input elements we have in HTML4. When we write input type is equals to, here we have a very different options like text. Is a text from adding the text we will get a field in which the user types the data. It is free from line breaks, so means we cannot add lines on this. The data entered in it will be goes in a single line. Password are the case sensitive sensitive information which is also in a line and cannot be in more than one line. Checkbox is a set of 0 or more values from a predefined list. Radio is an enumerated value. Submit is a free form of button. Initiates form submissions. File is an arbitrary file with a meme type and optionally a file name. Image is a coordinate relative to a particular image's size with the extra semantic that it must be the last value selected and initiates form submission. Hidden type is an arbitrary string that is not normally displayed to the user. Means we have a field but we don't want it to be shown on the screen, then we will can write it what type is equals to hidden. Text area is the same as we have type text, but in text area type we will there is no uh, free of line breaks. We can add as many line breaks as we want. There is no restriction, but is in a free form of button which can initiate any event related to button. Now let's create one example file using forms and using these input types we have discussed in the practical form. First we will start by writing a form tag. Action is equals to it means where the form will redirect when we submit the when we click the submit button, and method is equals to post. We will discuss about in our PHP section. There's no need of it here. Form, you will be closing the form tag. Now label for is just for the labeling the field. Here I will be using the text type and giving it a ID, which is first name. Then I will be using label 4, which I have for email. Sorry, it will be small. Here I will write capital label, and I will write it input, sorry, type is equals to text, and ID I will give it email. Now we will be making some radio buttons, like you can see here. Input type is equals to radio. Here later it was I said it is an enumerated value. So here it goes. I'm giving it name is equals to sex, and we have to give it the value here, like male, then female, female, then again a break tag. Now I need input type, sorry, type equals to submit, and we have a value equals to send, and we have another no another input tag which is known as input type is equals to reset, which will reset our form. I will close the paragraph tag and then form tag. Let's save it. Now we'll check it. Oh, sorry, I have to open this with Firefox. As you can see our form here, as we were doing this in HTML4, we have a first name, which you can write like this, email ID can be whatever, male or female. It is an unenumerated value, so we have to choose any one of out of these values we have here. Send will send this option, and reset button will reset our form. Apart from these mentioned attributes, HTML5 input elements introduced several new values for the type attribute. These are listed like date time. A date time can be year, month, day, or minute, second, fraction of second, encoding, and everything. Date time local is encoded according to ISO 8601 with no time zone information. We have date, month, week, time, number, range, email, URL, and much more. The output element, and the output element HTML5 introduced a new element known as output, which is used to present the result of different types of outputs, such as output written by a script. You can use the for attribute to specify relationship between the output element and other element in the document that affected the calculation, for example as inputs or parameters. The value of the for attribute is a space separated list of IDs of other elements. The placeholder attribute. The HTML5 introduced a new attribute called placeholder. This attribute on input and text area elements provides a hint to the user what can be entered in the field. The placeholder text must not contain carriage returns or line feeds. Let me show you one example. As we are making this, like here we have to write input type is equals to text, name equals to search, and placeholder is a new attribute called right here to search, like this. As you can see, we have got the text field, and the placeholder is written over here. If we click on this will get away like this. So what does this basically do? Its function is to show the user what information he or she has to write over. This attribute is supported by latest versions of Mozilla Firefox Chrome browsers only. Now another function we have is the required attribute. You do not need to have a JavaScript. For client-side validation, like empty text box would never be submitted because HTML5 introduced a new sub attribute called required, which would be used like this. As you can see, I just stored this only these two lines, and there is no need of JavaScript to get this autofocus red sign. And then if I if I submit this form without writing any data in this field, it shows please fill out this field. So these are the basically stored in the HTML5 libraries, which give us more information, more freedom. Thank you for watching, friends.